Hey, everybody. Nice to see you back again. Nice to see me back again.
I'm glad you made it.
I'm glad I made it. It has been a very long time. I don't even want to look and try to see how many decades it's been since I did an episode of Gem. I apologize for taking so long. Actually, you know what? I don't apologize. With everything going on in the world, you have to, take time for yourself and do what you need to do for you. And if you need a break, if you need to just shut things out for a while and chill, that's what you have to do. And you should not apologize for it. Everybody has to deal with things in their own way. People got a lot of shit going on in their lives. People are feeling down. People are struggling. And look, sometimes you just got to take a break. I had to take a break. I'm back. I've been busy. I've been crazy. It's been just absolutely nuts around here, but I really was missing doing these videos. So here we are, episode 5, Gem and the Holograms, more chaos, more absolute nonsense. I don't know what is going on in this. Actually, this episode made a little bit more sense than the last episode, if that's possible. Things are getting a little bit more logical as far as what's going on. And then there's moments where it doesn't make any sense at all. Previously on Gem and the Holograms. I took notes. I got my notes. I didn't take that many this time. I watched the episode yesterday. It's still kind of fresh in my mind, but let's not make any guarantees. That's why I took notes. I don't have that many, but then I have some notes that we have to just immediately jump into. I started out this video by this recording rather by doing the lip sync for my jam, taking it all so I could get my energy going.
When you got it, no need to be shy. When you made it, parade and shout it to the sky.
So I'm feeling pretty good. That's done. I'm using a new camera and I hope it's okay. I did a few tests. It looks all right. You guys let me know if it looks weird. So episode 5, what was it called? Does anybody know what this episode was called? I don't even remember. See, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, let me look. I thought I had it pulled up in case I needed to look at it, and it had the name. Is this the Battle of the Bands? Yes, episode 5 is called Battle of the Bands. And finally, we're getting to the point of the show, or not the point of the show, but the point of the last few episodes has been about this weird Battle of the Bands that Gem and the Misfits agreed to because that shady ginger, what is he, a film producer or something, came out of nowhere and was like, I'm going to give you a mansion, a film contract, and whatever if you win this Battle of the Bands. The weird thing about it is there have been 4 episodes leading up to the Battle of the Bands that's going to determine whether Jerrica gets Starlight Music, whether the Misfits just don't get anything, whether Gem gets the mansion and the Starlight Girls get a home and all that stuff. This is a big deal. And we've been building up to this for 4 episodes, and you don't even see the battle. There's no battle. They never have an actual battle. They just have the Misfits playing a song, and then Gem shows up and plays it. It's not a battle. It's literally is it one song that they get to do that, and then everybody applauds and they determine who wins? Look, if my livelihood, a film contract, a home, some money, and fame came down to one song, it would not be the one that they picked. Anyway, we'll get into that. So episode 5 starts out with, I have no clue how this starts. Oh yes, it picks up where that private eye, the most private eye that you could possibly find. He looks so private-y that there's no way he couldn't be a private eye. There's absolutely no subtlety going on. He's got the trench coat. He's got the hat. He's got everything going on that makes him look like a private eye. He is so private-y, so eye-y. He's private eye-y. He beat the living shit out of Synergy. Look, this guy is so completely dysregulated. I have never seen anybody react this way to a computer. Actually, Let me take that back. I have raged before when my computer isn't working properly. I may have thrown a few keyboards and mice, over the monitor in times of rage. But look, this guy went bonkers. What is up with him? Synergy is like, intruder, intruder, intruder. And like, the most calm voice imaginable. Well, not really. But he like literally picks up a chair, or what is it, a chair or a baseball bat or something? And he just beats the crap out of the thing. It's not like he looks around to like unplug it out of the wall or looks around for an off switch or starts pressing buttons like they do in like movies where they're like, I don't know what to do. And they just start pressing random buttons. No. This white man, typical, picks up a piece of furniture and starts beating the thing to death. He doesn't just beat it once. He doesn't just hit it a couple times in the speaker. Oh no. He just keeps hitting it.
And they just started hitting me.
Until he breaks it into a gazillion pieces and then he just leaves. It's like you just walked into somebody's hidden base at, in a drive-in and just beat their computer to death and turned her into little teeny tiny synergy pieces. The rage is so unnecessary. The anger. Seriously, this guy needs some therapy. Where's Tony when I need him?
Go get some therapy!
He's not well. So he leaves and he goes to Eric and he brings Eric the picture of Synergy that he took before he beat the shit out of her. And he's like, he hands Eric the picture and I swear he's like,
if you ask me, Jerrica Benton and this gem dame are the same person.
How did you determine this? Let me just back up. Let's just back up for a minute. You found a weird machine that looks like a cross between a jukebox and an organ. Right? Am I wrong? And it spoke to you. Did she pop up on the screen? I don't even know if she popped up on the screen or not. Did she like come up on the screen and talk to him? And like, I don't think she did. I think she was just sitting there and then it started saying intruder or something. I don't know how he looked at that completely whacked out gizmo and said, this is evidence that Jem and Jerrica are the same person. Y'all, is he a genius? Did Eric hire an actual genius? Someone that's not Spider Zipper Carl? Did he actually like hire this private eye who actually happens to be some sort of quantum genius who can see that Synergy is a holograph creating computer? Like, what evidence does he even have to come to this conclusion?
Well, there's something spooky about this gizmo. It talked to me, I'm telling you.
I'm sure it did.
Look, the leaps that these guys take, the leaps that they have leapt, the leaps they leaped, it doesn't make a shred of sense. This is just only one of a million things that doesn't make a shred of sense in the show. We'll get to that. But that was like the first thing. That's how this starts, with him providing evidence that Jerrica and Jem are the same person. I don't know who would ever even think to come to that conclusion from seeing a computer and say they're like,
Jem will be right back after these messages.
So the brilliant thing also about this, the beginning of this, is that Jem, Synergy is like, Jem, there's an intruder. You got to come back to the drive-in. So they turned around and they go back and they disguise themselves as 4 old biddies in a really nice Cadillac. Is it an Oldsmobile? I don't know what that car is, but it's better, honestly, than the Rockin' Roadster. That thing is awesome. They literally disguise themselves as 4 old ladies. 4 old ladies, because that's the most inconspicuous disguise that you could possibly have. 4 old ladies in one car sitting outside of an abandoned drive-in. Are they looking to score some drugs? Are they getting their old biddy on? What are they doing out there? It's an abandoned drive-in. Are they just confused? We were looking to go to the drive-in that we used to go to when we were just young ladies, and we found that it was closed, and we were so confused that we just sat here outside and just hummed. I don't even know what's going on in the scene. They're just sitting there. The funny thing was, like, it didn't make any sense that they were sitting there, and I didn't even know who these four ladies were. And then in the next scene, you see them outside of Starlight Music, and they're like, "Yeah, we gotta like take care of this guy." And it's like, oh my god, the four ladies were Gem. So is like, what was the command? Because we never saw the command that Jerrica used. Was she like, Showtime synergy, make us look like old bitches? Now, like, how did she do this? Like, what was the age up? Did she say make us look like old women? Did she say make us look like the Golden Girls? Like, what was the command? We never got to see the actual command that she gave to Synergy. I want to know what the DOS prompt was. I want to know what the JavaScript input in its command was. Was it start hologram old biddies look like go like what was the chat GPT that was input into this AI to create these four women? Amazing. Whatever it was amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. It was absolutely amazing. I'll give it to you. That was some serious like mid-journey shit going on. So after he tries to convince Eric that this computer, he didn't even call it a computer, did he? Did he say I found this computer? I think he just said I just found this thing. I don't even think he knows what it is. And yet he has leapt to this conclusion that, yeah. Anyway, so he brings it to Eric. Eric is kind of like, I don't have time for this. Like he's interested in whatever the machine is, but he's not necessarily interested in the theory that the private EIE guy has. But he still jumps into a truck. I don't know where these people get these trucks. With Spider Zipper Carl and some other big-necked people, goes to the drive-in, like full speed, to go and get the thing. Again, where is the logic here of how you're doing this? Like, he's looking for any kind of leg up or leg over or whatever it is that he needs on Gem and the Holograms, and he gets a picture of some random device, and he goes to the place to go and get it. Like, he wants to know what it is, and the private eye guy is like, well, there's not much there because I kind of broke it. You kind of broke it? Why are you going to get the piece? It's like, what is it that you're going to drive to? Am I trying to be too logical? They can try to be too logical. Anyway, they get into a truck. They go all the way to the Starlight Drive-In. And it's like an abandoned like warehouse. It looks like just like a plain old abandoned warehouse, which confuses absolutely everybody. I got some in my eye. Hold on. Okay. My eye is better. They go to the drive-in and it's just like an abandoned warehouse. And they're just like, where is all the stuff? And there's just some empty crates and some various things in there. And of course, it was a hologram. So was Synergy breaking into a million pieces. She literally made a hologram of herself blowing up, which I'm not sure how that would have worked because there would have had to be some real flames. Like if he hit it with the chair, but it was a hologram, he wouldn't have hit anything, or he would have hit something, but then he kept smashing it, but that wasn't real. He was just smashing a hologram of something being smashed, and he thought that what he was seeing was a smash, but it was not. But he was somehow hitting something that was solid, but a hologram that was smoking and on fire, but it wasn't real. but he thought it was. Is anyone else making any sense of this? Anyone? Can anyone help me with this? I think I've lost myself.
Jem will be right back after these messages.
Okay. When Jem and the Holobitties get back and they realize that it was all fake and Synergy's fine, they decide that they have to move her to a safer location. Or do I have it backwards? Wait, okay, wait. Before Eric gets there, right? Jem and the Holobitties get all the way back to the Starlight Drive-In, and Synergy's like, I'm fine, surprise. And they're like, we need to move you to a safer location before Eric gets here. So they unplug her from the wall because Synergy takes a standard US size plug and doesn't have any additional power supply. You know, you just plug her into the wall like a vacuum cleaner, and all of that computing power just streams in through a regular plain old plug. So they unplug her and take her apart. She nicely disassembles into 3 pieces, and they load those 3 pieces onto a truck. So I want to know where all these trucks are coming from. Is there a Starlight truck? I know there's a Starlight van. I guess the Starlight house would have to have a truck in order to move all of the orphans from one place to another. Anyway, they put her into the truck and they take off just as Eric is pulling in. And that's when Eric sees that it's just an abandoned warehouse and there's nothing in there. But I think that's a hologram. Actually, no, I think that's real. I think that's what the space actually looks like when Synergy is not projecting the inside of a Zaha Hadid building. So he's like, you know, does he leave the guys there? I feel like he leaves the guys there and he says he has to go deal with the Battle of the Bands or whatever it is. Ashley is back in this episode as well. She makes another appearance and is a catalyst for like more bullshit. I'm so tired of Ashley. I'm sick of Ashley. I don't even like Ashley. Does anyone like Ashley? Ashley is still annoying me. She annoyed me in the first episode. Why she has become the driving force of the show, I don't know. Ashley shows up. Eric is just like, who's this bitch, right? And he's just like, you deal with her. I don't have time for this kind of thing. And he throws her into the arms of Pizzazz and them. And she's just like, I don't want your money. We're still talking about this money, right? The money from the honor jar. How many episodes ago was this? I know it's only 4 episodes. To me, it feels like this was 6 years ago because it probably was the last time I did one of these. But like, it just feels like that is like the most moot point in the world, that she stole this money out of the honor jar and she got the money from them, and she's still dealing with this fallout from borrowing money from the Misfits and being a part of this whole Misfit thing. Really? This is still going on? This whole money from the honor jar thing? You guys are living in a mansion. What difference does it make? The Starlight girls are happily living in the mansion, like I said. The mansion that they didn't even borrow it. They asked the guy if they could move in because their house burnt down. And the guy's like, yeah, you can move into the mansion temporarily, you know, but if you lose the Battle of the Bands, you're going to have to move out. Fair enough. Not fair enough. Doesn't make any sense. So when they move Synergy, they also move the rest of their stuff into the mansion. The audacity. I don't think there's enough audacity in the world. You are borrowing this space. You're just like, can we live here temporarily because Spider Zipper Carl burnt our house down? Sure. While we're here, we'll just move in every damn thing we own. All of our father's fashion line, our clothing, Synergy. They plugged Synergy in to somewhere in the mansion. Like, where in the mansion? It's not your house. What? How do you just move your secret computer into the house that you don't even own, along with your entire wardrobe, all of your children, your maid, your shoes, your toiletries, and God knows what else? You're just like, you know what? It's fine. We'll move everything in, and then if we lose, we'll move everything out. They have absolute confidence that they are never going to have to leave this mansion again if they're moving in their secret hologram creating computer. I mean, really? They just unpack that shit in that man's house and plug it into the wall like, yay, it works. I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing to say about that. That is absolutely crazy. That is bonkers that they do this. So they plug it in. And then comes, what's the song? Is it She's Got the Power? Let me check my notes just to make sure that that's the name. She's Got the Power.
She's got the power, power. She's got the power, power, power. She's got the power.
The last time I said that a song was trash, you guys came for me in the comments. And look, it's fine if you want to come for me in the comments for my opinions about songs, but this whole thing is not that serious, and you don't need to get so upset, and you don't need to defend Jem and the Holograms or Britta Phillips or anyone else, because I love the show. I love Jem. Britta has one of the best voices on the planet. There's no debate about any of that stuff. But some of the songs are trash.
She's got the power, power. She's got the power,
Some of the songs are burning trash.
power, power. She's got the power.
And we know why they are burning trash, because these guys, these ladies, these people had 2 seconds to put together entire episodes with music from both groups and produce this music and write these lyrics and do all this stuff in like 20 minutes or whatever, how much time they had to do each episode. There's no way that we're going to get quality songs every single time that has to happen. I can accept that there's going to be trash. Many of you disagreed with my opinion on Twilight in Paris, and Twilight in Paris is sort of my Madeline Ashton, in which, you know, I just can't stand it. But I think as I'm revisiting the episodes and I'm revisiting a lot of the music that did not make its way onto my Jem playlist because I didn't like the songs, I'm kind of remembering why I didn't like the songs. She's Got the Power is absolutely uninspired. It has no meaning. It has no depth. It doesn't even give Britta an opportunity to really showcase her vocal skills. This is one of these quick throwaway. And it's a shame because we're actually focusing on Synergy, how much of a role she has in the show, how much of a role she has to the holograms, how important she is. And like when we thought she was broken, it was like, oh my God, how are we going to do all this? So like this should be a song like really celebrating Synergy and like what her power actually is. But it's just, she's got the power because no one knows what the power is. She makes holograms. And I guess we can't make a song called She Makes Holograms. I mean, we could, but it would still be just as bad. I just don't think, I think the song was again written in a diner somewhere where they're eating tuna and they're just like, she's got the power and she makes the world bright and sets people on fire. The video for this is like just her burning the world down in flames. She's like a Greek goddess who like sets fire to people. I don't understand what that's about. Why does everything she does have to do with fire and setting the sky on fire and raining down meteors? What is it to do with? Okay. The song is terrible. I'm not even going to add it in here. I'm not going to do a lip sync to this song. I may add a clip so that for those of you who don't know how bad the song is, I'll put a little snippet of the song in here for you because I want you to know that I'm not making it up. I'm not just saying that the song is trash because I don't like it or I don't like the show or I'm making fun of the show or things that other people do on the internet, for clicks and giggles. I'm not doing that. I love this show, and I really am having fun rewatching this show, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that She's Got the Power is one of the best Gem songs ever written. That's Glitter and Gold.
Watching you see how the others all fold. When I found them with glitter and gold. Truly outrageous and beautifully bold. Gold! Here comes gold, glitter and gold. Here comes gold, glitter and gold. Here comes gold, glitter and gold.
Gem will be right back after these messages.
Okay, so while all this is going on, Ashley is being an inconvenience. Like, she's an inconvenience to everybody. She's an inconvenience to Jerrica. She's an inconvenience to the other Starlight girls. She's an inconvenience to the Misfits. She's an inconvenience to Eric. Nobody wants Ashley around. Eric literally calls her a waif.
Ah, one of Jerrica's waifs. How convenient.
And it's the wonderful thing about that. Is that a word that people normally use? Waif? Have you ever called anybody a waif? Have you ever called a small child a waif? I love that that word is still in circulation in some sort of way, like in this sort of, Dickinson, Oliver Twisty kind of way, calling people a waif. I just love that Eric Raymond calls Ashley a waif. I think that's a word we need to bring back in, to the rotation. It needs to be added, like fetch, which already happened, by the way. Don't fight me on it. You'll lose.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
It already happened. So I think waif needs to happen. We need to have fetch waifs. I feel like that's a thing that needs to be, viral. Fetch waifs? What do you think?
It's not going to happen.
So Ashley is now just being shoved around like a sack of potatoes, given to a person, this person here, deal with her kind of thing. Honestly, can we just get rid of Ashley? Can we just put her in the back of a garbage truck? No, we tried that this episode. It didn't work. So Eric gives her to the Misfits to deal with while he's dealing with other things. And the Misfits don't have time for her because, they got to rehearse for this battle of the bands, which is more like song of bands. Not really a battle. It's more like a hopscotch of bands or something. And they take her and they put her into a trunk or I don't know what they're doing. They're moving crates of stuff for the venue, and they're putting the crates of stuff into a trash compactor, which isn't really a trash compactor. It's more like a garbage eating truck. It eats garbage. It's got teeth. I don't know why. So they put her into a trunk and they lock the trunk, or more like they just close the trunk and it locks and they don't have the key. They just shove her into a trunk. It's like all of those nightmares that I had growing up and all those commercials we had about not hiding in refrigerators or not playing in old refrigerators because you can get stuck in there and suffocate. Didn't that happen on Punky Brewster or something? I don't understand why the Misfits would shove a small child, a fetch waif, into a trunk and lock it. They could have killed this person. Why am I even saying this? We're talking about people who got into a bulldozer and tried to run over a millionaire. So obviously they're psychotic. They've tried to run people off roads. They have broken furniture and guitars. They have bulldozed people. I guess it's not too far-fetched that they would put a child into a locker where she could suffocate while they're practicing.
Give me a hand! Quit squirming, you brat! No! Let me go! Let me out! Oh, no! No!
Come on, let's tune up.
Let me out! Oh, no!
Y'all, this is the most unhinged show ever. So they lock her in there, and Stormer, who we get to see in the past few episodes, she's not like everybody else. She's not like Pizzazz and Roxy. She's nice. She's from Jersey, but the nice part of Jersey, I guess. And she really, in the last episode, I think it was, we saw her kind of come to Ashley's rescue and, come to the rescue in general by you know, exposing the Misfits' lies and stuff. So in this episode, we kind of see more of this conflict. And I actually like this. I like that they have given Stormer a character arc, for lack of a better word. Like, we're getting to sort of know her and we're getting to see some conflict. She's not just like a pizzazz. She's not just a sidekick like Roxy, or she's not just a name, right? She's not just one of the misfits. They're actually giving her a personality. They're giving her conflict. They're trying to build her up and kind of showcase this. I like that. We don't really have much of that from any of the holograms either, except for Kimber, who we know feels things aren't fair, but it's more like in a childish kind of obnoxious way. Whereas with Stormer, it's more like a moral dilemma that she has. And I like that we're getting to see this. I like that we're getting more from Stormer. Stormer actually feels bad about Ashley being locked in a trunk to suffocate to death.
It's Stormer, Ashley. Stormer!
Stormer! I told you she'd gone soft.
We've got to win this contest.
Winning is everything that counts.
You're either with us or against us.
I'm sorry, Ashley.
Stormer! I'm with you. Let's go.
Stormer! Stormer! Let me out! No!
She seems genuinely concerned. And she feels bad, and you see her get pulled away by, Pizzazz and Roxy, who are like, who gives a fuck about this kid? You're either with us or against us, which is kind of harsh. I mean, they're about to kill somebody. And we see Stormer like, I'm sorry, Ashley, you have to die. I have to go with my friends. Okay. So she leaves Ashley in this trunk to die, and goes off to practice. There's something that happens in between this. I feel like there's like a few things going on. Let me consult my notes. I have one line in my notes that says, or Ashley gets it, which is just great. I love it. So what is it with the size of these doors? So when they're trying to put that's what I forgot. When they're trying to put Ashley in this trunk, she's giving them a little bit of a run for their money, and they're chasing her around this wherever this is, backstage or basement or wherever they are. And like, as she's trying to escape, she's trying to get to the exit, trying to get to these doors, and the door is the same size as Ashley. Like, it's as tall. Like, Ashley's a child, right? She's like a little kid. And when she gets to the door to go through it, it's this Alice in Wonderland sort of shit. Like, it's like she shrunk or she grew tall. And the white rabbit. No, I won't do it. Oh, it's too late. I'm going to have to put the I and no, and one child is small. Oh yeah, I don't know why the doors look like that. And then when the Misfits are chasing her, the doors are resizing on their own. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and I absolutely adore it. It's kind of like the cars in the last episode when the cars come up to their ankles. There's something with this show where they can't draw, is it forced perspective or foreshortening or whatever it's called in artistic terms, the artist is not good at this. The artist is not good at showing size relative to the characters on the screen. And maybe that's just a limitation they have. Like, some artists can't draw feet, other artists can't draw people from the side. This person can't draw perspective. And that seems like an important skill to have as an artist, but you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to enjoy the white rabbit of it all and continue on with my life because it made no sense at all.
Shem will be right back after these messages.
So the Misfits, after leaving a child to its death to suffocate and die, they go to go on stage, and Eric has hatched this plot where he's trying to blackmail Jem and the Holograms by saying that Ashley's gonna get it if they don't show up at the Starlight Drive-In. The whole point is to make sure that they don't show up for the hopscotch of the bands. Again, Eric has so little confidence in the Misfits, which, I think is really unwarranted, misaligned, not correct. What's the word I'm looking for? The Misfits are not a bad band. Let me put it that way. They could be a bad band. Like, they could just be like, the trash can banging cats or something, but they're not. Their songs are not bad. Their songs are actually really good. They have fans. If you look at the Hopscotch of the Band's audience, all these people are there cheering for them, and they got like all the stars on the, the guitar thing that's supposed to measure the applause rating or whatever. There's a lot of people that like the Misfits, okay? A lot of people. So the fact that Eric has so little confidence and so little faith in whether, they're going to win or not, that he has to do these ridiculous schemes to make sure that Jem and the Holograms don't even show up, really shows you the kind of horrible manager he is. Why would you want Eric as your manager when he does not think that you're a good band? Like, what is the point of that? Like, that's terrible. That's not good. The Misfits don't deserve that. The Misfits songs are better than half of the Jem songs. Fight me if you want. I don't care. The one song that we, that they get to perform at the Battle of the Bands, the one song that they are going to bring to the table for Battle of the Bands is Taking It All. Look. As far as I'm concerned, the Misfits won. I don't even know what Jem and the Hologram song, what did they do? No, Music is Magic. That's the song that Jem and the Holograms did for the Battle of the Bands. Music is Magic? That's the song that you bring with you? Look, this, and again, maybe this is a testament to the audacity of Jem and the Holograms that they're like, we have so got this mansion won. We've already moved into it. We're just going to bring Music is Magic. Why don't you bring Twilight in Paris while you're at it? If you're just going to bring crap to Hopscotch of the Bands, because you know that you have to do the bare minimum to already keep the mansion, that's just obnoxious. That makes me dislike them all the more. There's something about Jem and the Holograms, and I said this before. I don't know what it is about everybody that just wants to give them things. The fish mistress wants to give them her, her airplane to fly to Paris. The ginger producer's just like, here, have my mansion. I don't know why people are bending over backwards to give Jerrica, who already has a tremendous amount of privilege, all of this stuff for her band. And they bring Twilight in Paris. She's the power and Music is Magic. Look, this is not the band you want to endorse. You want to endorse the band that brings you Taking It All. Can I just tell you that Taking It All is my jam?
Shem will be right back after these messages.
Wanna bet?
When you got it, no need to be shy. When you made it, parade it, shout it to the skies. We're taking it all, making it a
have a lot of jams, and most of them are Misfits songs. And it's not because I don't like Gem songs. There are some kick-ass Gem songs. Only the Beginning, Glitter and Gold. There's a lot. There's a lot of Gem songs that are nice. They are kick-ass. Britta is just bringing it, right? There's plenty. I have no complaints. They're not all great, and some of them are absolute trash. The Misfits songs, some of them are just lazy, but I wouldn't say any of them are trashy. Taking It All is such a great example of what I like about Misfits lyrics and the Misfits mentality. The Misfits are the villains of the show, but the thing is, the Misfits songs are empowering in a way that Gem and the Hologram songs are not. The Misfits songs are fight songs. The Misfits songs are strong. We're powerful. We can do it. We can have it. We can take it. No one's going to keep us from what we want, what we deserve. That sort of mentality, that idea of that self-empowering, especially for women, makes them the villains somehow. Like, none of their music is, we're going to go out and suffocate a small child in a trunk. But it all speaks to these wonderful messages about self-empowering yourself, people looking down on you and you empowering yourself, rising above all of that. And I love those songs. And there's so many of those Misfits songs that are like that. They're like Welcome to the Jungle is like just a perfect example. Like, they have so many songs that are just kick-ass, powerful messages. And that's not to say that Gem and the Holograms don't have powerful messages. Their messages are usually very positive, very hopeful, not like losing faith and like all that sort of stuff. And that's great, but it's not realistic. And I feel like the Misfits from Jersey or whatever, however they came up or were brought up, they're from the streets. Oh no. That they have a different view of the world than Gem and the Holograms. And that's the idea that we're supposed to get, right? Gem and the Holograms are a bunch of like, overly privileged people that don't really have any real hardships at all. So all they do is sing about positivity and love. No, I'm just, their attitude about the world is very different. It's very easy for them to make songs about all of these positive things. And mostly all they're doing is singing about Rio anyway. But like, it's not the same as the Misfits, which are coming from a place of strength and coming from a place of being downtrodden and coming from a place of being, underappreciated and undervalued, even by their own manager, right? So Taking It All is like a great example of what makes the Misfits great. Like, even the lead up to it, like where she goes into, Rio, and Rio's like, oh, hey, oh, it's you. Like, he's like, fuck off. And she's like, Gem isn't coming, and he's like, oh yeah, she'll be there. And she's like, yeah, whatever, want to bet kind of thing. And just the whole attitude that they bring forth, as far as they're concerned, they've already won the hopscotch of the bands. And I love that attitude. There are so many songs about winning in the Misfits repertoire and how they've already won, that they're just, we're winners, we're winners, you're losers, we're up, we're down, or whatever, songs like that. Like, it's always this tug of war between having confidence in yourself when no one else does, and Gem and the Holograms love everybody and love yourself and all that nonsense. I think that the Misfits are more realistic, and I always liked their songs growing up. And even as I got older, like I'm talking college age, and I'm listening to the Misfits lyrics, and I'm thinking, these songs are tight. The lyrics are thoughtful. Okay. It's not like She's Got the Power. The lyrics are thoughtful. The lyrics are provoking. They're meant to give you a certain kind of imagery and feeling, and it's on purpose. That takes effort. That's not something you threw together in a diner. They're trying to project a certain feel, and they do. Taking It All is such a great song, and I love how confident it is. Like, when you won, there's no need to be coy. It's a shutout. It's a shutout. So strut out, cut loose and enjoy. It's like celebrate winnings. Be proud of winning. Don't be shy about it. Don't try to be humble, or don't let people tell you to be humble. When you've won, right? And I like that attitude. Not in the sense where I'm saying, be an asshole and suffocate children. I just mean like the message behind that is don't let people tell you that you're small, that your wins aren't big, that everything that you accomplish is huge and you should celebrate it. Like, I love that there's no need to be coy. You don't need to play that, oh, did I win? Oh, thank you. I'm so humble. Fuck that. Just celebrate it. And I love that whole idea. The song is so powerful. And I think it's one of my favorites. And I love that it's so early in the season, in the show, that you get this feel for who the Misfits are through their music. You get a feel for who Jem is through her music, but like it's hard to relate to that. It's more like something that you just want to hold on to because it feels nice. And the Misfits is more sort of discordant and it feels angry, but it's not so much angry so much as it's self-empowering and self-celebrating. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually a really good thing. I think I said this in the last video, like Pizzazz's whole mantra, that she, tries to teach Ashley or whatever, like just, to take things, gimme. And it's fucked up. I'm not saying it's not fucked up. Like, gimme is not the attitude that you want to bring into life. But at the same time, it is. It's this sort of forceful, it should be mine, it could be mine, I'm going to make it mine. There's no reason it shouldn't be mine. And I think that that's an attitude that women, girls, whatever, need to adapt. They need to adopt that whole idea of what Pizzazz is trying to put forth, just in not the best way. Gimme is exactly what she's trying to tell you to do. Take it. Gimme. When you add on to it that they're psychopaths, it kind of taints that message a little bit. And I think that the creators of the show are juggling this idea of Jem having to have a nemesis, right? And the Misfits having to be villains. But the villain songs aren't let's go kill people, let's go start a war, let's drop a bomb on somebody. The villain songs are, take pride in what you do, be strong, you can have what you want if you work for it, fight for it. You're a designing woman, don't sit home and bake cakes, go out and do what you want to do. Those are the villain songs. I don't think, am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain. Maybe I am. I don't think the Misfits are the villains. That's not, the villain behavior is there, but the message is not. And I think that, juxtaposition is a problem for the show, because I think that the writers are trying to give the Misfits a whole different persona, but then at the same time, the music persona and the lyrics is very different from them bulldozing people and killing children. It's unfortunate that is so blatant. It's such a vast gap between what their music is trying to do to empower people and then what they're doing to kill people. It's kind of a shame. And I think that's a problem in the series. I don't know if that stays a problem because I can't remember. I just remember their songs getting more mature and more of this messaging coming forth. I don't know if their attitude as a group changes or if the writers in the show write them a little bit more stable or not. But right now, it's hard to like them because of the things that they're doing. But their music is a different story altogether. And I think Taking It All is a perfect example of this. And I love the song. I have been listening to this song. I'm still listening to this song. I'm still listening to my playlist, and that's one of the songs on there that I just love. And I think it's just you can't go wrong with it. It's just a great piece of music.
Jem will be right back after these messages.
My notes say, I love the confidence of the lyrics. And it is a perfect example of how the Misfits are villains, but the lyrics are powerful and confident. And then I said, taking it all and your Brazilian boyfriend. It's like at the end of the video, like they've taken Rio and put him in the back of their car. Does Pizzazz really want Rio? Is this like a love triangle or something? I don't think Pizzazz wants Rio. I think she wants him in the sense that she wants to take what Jem has, but not because she wants Rio. Does anyone want Rio? I don't want Rio. So, so Eric and I said Spider Zipper Carl and Thick Neck. That guy's neck is so thick. He kind of reminded me of Andre the Giant and Andre the Giant with the Incredible Hulk's bad wig. Wasn't that wig made out of like lamb's wool? No, not lamb's wool. The Incredible Hulk wig was made out of some weird material, and that's what it looks like on that guy's head. But then he has like a big, sort of thick neck and head, sort of like Andre the Giant. I don't know who that guy is. Did he even have a name in the show? Like Zipper, his jacket says Zipper, so you don't get confused as to who he is, even though I confuse his name all the time because I can't remember that his name is Zipper. So he's Spider Zipper Carl and whatever other name I can come up with. But then we have Thick Neck. I don't ever want to see Thick Neck again. I don't want him to become a staple of the show like Zipper. Zipper's cool. He's a ginger with a butt chin, and I'm okay with that. Thick Neck, no. So Thick Neck, Spider Zipper Carl, and Eric, of all people, are waiting to blackmail Jem and the holograms. And there's like this weird chase scene and like all this stuff going on where Zipper does like this evil Knievel thing over a fence in order to cut off Jerrica, and he grabs her by the waist like she's a satchel and just speeds off with her on a motorcycle. Those of you who aren't 60 years old like me and don't know who Evil Knievel is, I'll put a little clip in. Evil Knievel was awesome. Anyway.
And he's not hesitating. He'll go.
So he kidnaps Jem, and in order for Jem to, I don't know why Jem did this now that I'm thinking about it, she took off one of her earrings and threw it. I thought she took off one of her earrings and threw it because he was taking her somewhere else and people would know that she had been kidnapped if they found her earring. But she just threw it outside the door to the hideout in the grass. And again, this is one of these perspective things. I need an artist to tell me what this is. I live with one, but I'm not going to ask him. Lawrence, what is the thing I'm talking about with the artist, where the perspective is all wrong? What is that called in art? Like where the perspective is all wrong. Like, let me show you an example of the perspective I'm talking about. I know this is called a thing.
A term of art.
Yeah, it's definitely an art term. Hold on. So
Everything is.
she's going. She chucks her earring off
Okay.
while she's being kidnapped, throws it,
Okay.
and it lands in the grass. Ah, 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 ah.
Okay, that is forced perspective.
Yeah, it is.
In a way, yeah, that's about right. According to that thing is a frisbee. You know what I mean? It's too. It's way too big. You didn't throw it that far. You know what I mean? And it's already.
It makes it worse because this is supposed to be a drive-in sneaker. Yeah, a four-run sneaker, and the O-ring is
No, there's no term of art for that. That's just lazy.
No, isn't it called it's perspective we're talking about, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you're the actual term or the art term is called trompe l'oeil or something like that, to fool the eye when you do force perspective. Like if you're making a box really big and you're making someone really small, you know what I mean?
Like the door, okay?
Yeah.
Like this door,
Fooling the eye here, you know? That's the problem. Is
like she's trying to get out and she's standing and
yeah. No.
that door is
No. I know what you're saying, but this is just bad.
I know.
It's bad art.
It's bad art.
Well,
But
that's the idea.
but yeah, it's perspective.
When you do a perspective trick to make it seem like it is that, then that's what's called trompe l'oeil or whatever, fool the eye.
Okay.
It's a French term.
It's a bad French
A
term.
bad term to say, okay, I'm going to fool your eye, but it's not, well, what you're seeing is not actual perspective, like what they did in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right. Lord of the Rings.
Perspective,
Right.
It's also forced perspective to fool the eye into thinking that it's real.
Like the alien thing where they use the kids to make it look like, okay. But it is like a weird perspective thing. That perspective is all kinds of screwed up.
Yeah.
Like that earring technically is a hubcap.
There might be a term because the thing like Picasso did the same thing where he made it all.
This is not a Picasso.
That's the thing. It's
But yes, he changed flat and weird and yeah.
right. You know? So yeah, that's where there might be another term, but like the term that we've learned in art class or whatever is called to fool the eye. It's not real perspective, but forcing it in such a way that it'll fool the eye into thinking that, yes, this person is 9 feet tall when they're actually not. Oh, the same thing with with that room thing, the room, the optical illusion.
Of the room size. Yes. And when you walk for more, and you get bigger and it's like, yes.
It's more size. No, it's just a weird perspective.
This is just bad art. Yes, I'll give it to you.
I know whatever that term is for that.
Yes.
Room code.
Bad art.
Yeah, it's just bad.
It's just Bart.
Is it?
And now, back to Jem.
So here's where I lose my shit. Here's where I absolutely, positively, I absolutely positively can't take it. Let me close this window because it's going to distract me. Okay. There are some things I can take, y'all. I can take almost all the weird stuff that happens in this show, and I can accept the Bart. I can accept the fetch waif. I can accept the Alice in Wonderland. I can accept almost everything. But there's a line. There's a line where I just have to pick up my monitor and throw it across the room because this shit makes no sense. The holograms are being held hostage. All right, am I back? Are we back? I'm so sorry. All right, my camera, my USB. All right, we're good. I was complaining. I hit my desk really hard, and it knocked my USB device offline, and my camera was like, "What?" and died. Okay. So here, I had to bang my hand on the desk because in my notes it says this shit is crazy. And I agree. I absolutely cannot accept that this happened in the show. I'm in denial. Jem and the holograms are being held prisoner in their warehouse by Spider Zipper Carl and Thick Neck. And I think there's another guy there. They have to create a distraction in order to, throw up all these holograms and confuse all these people so that they can make a break for it and escape and get back to the hopscotch of the bands before it's over and they're disqualified and the Misfits win by default. Even though I think the Misfits should have won anyway, because taking it all is the shit. Okay? It's fetch. So, in the process of coming up with a distraction, they get in a huddle, they talk about it, they talk to Synergy, they come up with a plan. And Jerrica is like, okay, Synergy, do you understand the plan? And Synergy's like, Yes, Jerrica, I understand the plan. Jem turns to everybody else and says, does everyone else understand the plan? Everyone else is like, we understand the plan. I'm expecting a big plan. I'm expecting holograms of all kinds of confusing things. I'm expecting brilliance. And instead of brilliance, instead of a grand plan worthy of a Bond villain or Scooby's gang or Buffy or anybody else of any kind of level of intelligence, we get lions.
Showtime synergy.
There are lions! Come on, let's go! Dumbo, open up!
Lions!
There are lions! Come on, let's go! Dumbo, open up!
We get lions. Lions. Okay? Lions. We get lions.
There are lions!
You guys. Let me tell you that I lost my mind when Jem screamed, lions. Lions are not. That's not something you scream. You know, it's not like. Look, if this was a zoo, maybe. Okay, maybe if you're in a zoo and you scream lions, that makes sense because a lion could have escaped or something, right? You scream barracuda, everybody looks around and, huh? What?
I don't think you appreciate the gut reaction people have to these things.
Harry, I appreciate it. I'm just reacting to what I was told.
Martin, it's all psychological. You yell barracuda. Everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
I have never, just period. That's all I have. I have never. I don't understand how that plan, this is like one of those plans, like when you're watching Family Feud and like, you know, there's one word left up on the board or something and the family gets into a huddle and they're playing that music, or whatever, right? And the family's in a huddle and we're waiting for them and then they all get out of the huddle, they break, and then they go back to their microphones and they're like, all right, we're ready. We got a good answer, right? And he goes up to them and he says, okay.
Name something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house.
You know, what's your answer? And they say,
naked grandma! Naked, huh?
Lions or some shit, right? Like, it's one of those moments where you're like, you were in that huddle for 5 minutes trying to come up with what you thought was going to be the best answer. And you came up with lions. Like, you want to just throw something at the screen. This was one of those moments. You need a distraction to get yourself out of a warehouse where you're being held captive. And the only thing you can think of after being in a huddle, talking to your holographic AI-powered US two-prong plug-having computer, all you have is create a stampede of lions? Y'all, come on. Come on. You guys cannot tell me that you sat and watched the show and you were like, yeah, bring on them lions. No.
And now back to Jem.
The fact that Zipper and Thick Neck freaked out and started running, everybody starts to panic, and there's literally a stampede of holographic lions. Why was that what you came up with? You could have said anything. You could have said cardamom. I mean, you could have said anything. I don't. What? You could have said be Bendham, and anything could be Bendham, and like it's like.
I think that's such a lame weakness for her to have. Why can't her weakness be like cardamom?
Cardamom?
Or like arugula. Something
It should be a thing
that someone could carry around and pull out.
So instead of a man weakness, it needs to be like a superhero weakness.
Yes!
Something like weird.
It should
you know,
be.
Right.
Because
It should be
she's a
kryptonite.
gladiator in a pantsuit.
Right.
And she needs
so it
some
should be. It needs to be
strange-
something. Should be something odd,
that
just
just
like
weakens her.
kryptonite. You know, like, it shouldn't be her mother or her father
Or some man.
or some man
Yeah.
or even some chick for that matter. You know, it needs to be something that is like we
Just
cannot. Like that William Gibson novel where that chick was traumatized by Bendham from the Michelin
Exactly!
Man. You know, every time
Why
she's the
can't it be
Michelin Man,
something
like,
like that? I could fix anything. Be Bendham!
It's like the situation in Ghostbusters, right? Where they're like, you know, the first thing that popped into his head was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and that's what appeared. Can you imagine if that would have been more devastating if lions showed up and started like rampaging New York? But I mean, why would you think that? You have a computer that can create any hologram, anything, and you said lions. Like you guys. At that point, you just turn the show off. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that point, you just have to stop and say, this is not for me. This show might be beyond my comprehension. It might be, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe Lions is secretly brilliant. Like, turning themselves into four old biddies in a Cadillac was kind of brilliant. Turning themselves into Solid Snake in the alleyway, right, into a dumpster. That was kind of brilliant, honestly. Lions, you have all this power. She's got the power, right? And that's all you can come up with. You should have been like, Jem, I think this is stupid. Like, she should have at least put in her 2 cents and thought to herself, I think Jem is doing something dumb, and I need to do something about it. But she didn't. She was like, I get it. I understand. Lions. I feel at this point I may have tuned right out. And I get that this show is for kids, but kids are not that dumb, and kids deserve better than lions. I don't understand how she has the power. Even in the video for She's Got the Power, that woman was raining down meteors and shit. She made a hologram of herself being broken into pieces to convince that guy. But all Jem has are lions, because that's what happens when you put all that power in the hands of somebody who has multiple personality disorder. I don't know what else to say. It's so upsetting. So the lions happen, holograms happen, confusion happens, Thick Neck gets arrested, and Jem picks up her frisbee from the grass and gets into a car with Rio, and they go to Hopscotch of the Bands and perform Music is Magic. And to be honest with you, I watched this episode yesterday, and I can't remember that song at all. It flew out of my head as soon as I heard it. It was like, music is huh? I have no idea. I don't know what that song even is. That song is not the song that you bring to battle for a mansion. That is not it. You bring glitter and gold. You bring only the beginning. Maybe you even bring beat this or something. Something. You don't bring Music is Magic. You don't bring Twilight in Paris. What's that song? That other song I can't stand? Fun to be Scared. Those aren't the songs that you bring to Hopscotch of the Bands. You bring your best. You bring something that's going to make people lose their damn minds. You bring glitter and fucking gold. When you have to pull out all the stops, when you have to pull out your gem song, what is that on like the RuPaul's Drag Race, right? That you have to dance for your life or lip sync for your life or something like that. You do not bring Music is Magic to the drag race to lip sync for your life. That's not the song you bring. When you are going to be voted off the show, you don't bring Music is Magic. I'm sorry. That is a bad choice. That's as bad as Lions. You bring your best. Now, that being said, that song is terrible, but it lets Britta just really, really give some voice. You know what I'm saying? Even in Twilight in Paris, which you guys know I can't stand. Even Twilight in Paris has these moments and these lyrics and these notes where you're just like, damn, right? Music is Magic has no business giving Britta that kind of a platform like it does. And that's a testament to the fact that good singers can sing anything well, right? A good singer can take terrible lyrics and a terrible song and turn it into something that you can't stop listening to just because of their vocal power and their vocal choices. And Britta just has moments in this song where you really can hear how versatile her voice is.
Music is magic, cuts through sadness like a knife, wondrous and mystical. Music is magic, something of a miracle. Sweet magic. Music is the sweet, sweet sound of life. Music is magic. Music sets you free. Music is magic. It lets you see the world the way it ought to be. Music is magic. Music makes you fly. Music is magic. It finds you when you're low and lifts you to the sky. Music is magic. Music is magic.
It's the one thing I always loved about this show. And again, that's why I like the gem songs, because of her, what she is bringing to them, not necessarily because of the lyrics or the music, but her and just listening to that voice and going, damn, wow, you know, even as a kid, it was like, wow. It's a song where you can say that. You can say, wow, damn, she can sing these amazing notes, but the song is not doing it for me. If I was in that audience, I would have been like, bring back the Misfits. As far as the Misfits were concerned, when Pizzazz finished that song, they're like, yeah, we're the greatest.
Yeah, we're the greatest! Yeah!
Like Pizzazz was set at the end of that song. She knew at the end they had that shit won. And I agreed with her, honestly. And the fact that Jem rolls up 6 hours late and brings Music is Magic is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And they rolled up there all happy, like they were bringing it. The fact that they won the mansion that they already owned and a movie contract, I don't know why Jem needs to be in a movie. And Starlight Music, again, was just to sort of get us through the first 4 episodes and get Erica established as Jerrica, whatever her name is. Spider Zipper Carl, Erica Jerrica. To get her established as running, you know, the music company that she has no idea how to run anyway. Like, she doesn't deserve that position. She doesn't deserve any of the things that she has been given just because she's white and uppity. And that Battle of the Bands was not a battle of the bands. That was the Misfits winning everything as far as I was concerned. I was not happy with that. And again, don't take this seriously and don't come for me in the comments because it's so annoying. It's not that serious. We're not going to debate about this. I'm not trying to debate about this. I'm giving you my measly, cheesy opinion about this show, and it's not that serious. I'm just saying that realistically, y'all, you all know that Taking It All is a much better song, and the Misfits are much better performers, regardless of the fact that Eric has no faith in them, and regardless of the fact that Eric has to pull all this stupid shit to try to trick Jem into not showing up. The Misfits did show up, and they brought it, and they won it, as far as I'm concerned. They didn't come at it half-assed and bring some shitty song. They showed up, they played their song, and Jem showed up at the last minute and gave you crap, and she won. No. I hated this episode. I hated this episode simply because of the Lions and because they won that bullshit. It didn't make any sense to me. At the end, she gets all the things she doesn't deserve, and Eric slaps her in the face, which I kind of honestly... Corey was surprised by it. She's like, did he just slap her? And I'm like, yes. And she frankly deserves to be slapped. Again, do not come for me, but I'm so tired of Jerrica.
But why aren't you in jail?
It's amazing what lawyers can do if you pay them enough.
And what are you taking from my office?
What's this? More stolen files?
No, it's my stuff from the desk.
Your stuff. Now there's a broad term.
No, it's my stuff.
Personal possessions. Raymond! That's something personal to remember me by.
Look, maybe you can fool these guys with this saint act that you got down, but do not ever speak to me again like we don't know what really happened. You got me?
Tess, this is business. Let's just bury the hatchet, okay?
You know where you can bury your hatchet? Now get your bony ass out of my sight.
I'm also really deeply concerned about the fact that Jem and Rio made out at the end of the episode. And then when Jerrica goes into her new office, she makes out with Rio there. Look, this is a problem, okay? This Jem, Jerrica, Rio thing is a problem. And I've said this before. This is not normal. And the fact that Rio just keeps making out with all of these people is not healthy. He doesn't know. He's not the problem. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Pachenko is not the problem. Jerrica and her, seriously demented disorder are the problem. The fact that she just keeps, forgetting that she's pretending to be another person, and then she makes out with Rio and asks Rio if he likes her and stuff like, what is her problem? That's not Rio doesn't have any clue what's going on. He has no reason to believe he's not as smart as the private eye guy who obviously knows that they're two separate people because a computer exists. He doesn't know that they're not the same. He doesn't get this. He thinks that he's in love with two people or that he's made out with two different women in like two different scenes back to back. I have serious concerns about this man. And the fact that in the last episode they tore him apart like a piñata. This show is so unhinged and it's so weird that nobody thought to do anything about this when this was on, when there were small children watching it, and this guy is just making out with two different women back to back in two different scenes, and he doesn't even seem to think anything of it. He's just like, yeah, Jem, we did it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Jerrica, you did it. Blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of, yes, that's my imitation of them kissing. Blah. You guys, this is not good. So yeah, look, going forward, I know that this whole love triangle thing is only going to get worse and more disturbing, but like this episode really highlighted for me the one where she asked him if he liked her as Jem. Like that was weird. Like that gave me a little heebie. The fact that she was like, do you like me? And he's like, I don't even know you. Like, why would you ask him if he likes you as this other woman? That is a weird question to ask. That was like a huge red flag for me. This episode, the fact that he like just without thinking was just like celebrating with Jem by making out with her and then celebrating with Jerrica by making out with her. It's like, he just seems to forget from one moment to the next that he has a girlfriend that he's cheating on. And that's like odd. It's like, how do you How do you forget that your girlfriend is Jerrica Benton?
Yeah, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and f***ed me so hard, I figured you changed your mind.
Keep your voice down.
Jem will be right back after these messages.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this little synopsis. I think I got everything. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think this episode had too many like subplots or anything. It was really the conclusion of, let's call it the prologue of the show. Now everyone is in their rightful place or whatever, and we can kind of get rolling with, the show proper. Hopefully going forward, we'll get some more songs that I like, I don't know. So I hope you guys will tune back in for episode 6 and enjoy the clips on TikTok. And I will try to edit this entire episode, hopefully in the next couple of days, get it put together and put up on YouTube for you guys. In the meantime, I'll upload some clips for you to enjoy on TikTok. And welcome back to all of you who came back after all this time. And welcome back to me for getting back to something that I really do enjoy doing and having fun with you guys on TikTok. I will see you guys soon. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to try to do one of these every couple weeks, just to kind of give myself a little break in between. So like every couple weeks, I'll do an episode, maybe. I'll try. I'm going to aim for that. I don't want it to be too long between each one, but things are a little crazy, so I don't want to make any promises, but I'm going to do my best to keep going with this and bring you something on the regular. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Enjoy your peace. Find your peace. And what was the last thing I was going to tell you? Oh, yes. Be good to each other and to yourselves.